Hey guys, we are live. It is working, I think. Let's just look at my settings. It has been since December of last year since I went live. Luckily, it's like riding a bike. A few different changes, but it all is working, I think. So if you're able to hop on and visit with me while I do an unboxing, let me know. Say hi. I'm just going to look at my internet and all that, make sure that we have a good video. And I'm going to make sure that it's getting posted to the right place. Give me just a second here. How is everyone doing? Let's see. I think we shipped the boxes on Tuesday, so I don't think anyone has gotten their box yet, but if you do, let me know. Drop it in the comments. Hey, there we are. Well, everything's working. Looky there. I figured I'd have to fight the internet and fight Facebook and fight my computer and all that. My computer is getting to the point where it's running very hot and very loud. There's a lot on it, and I feel like I'm going to need an upgrade soon. So hopefully it holds out for a little bit longer. Oh, and I'm getting some really funky shadows on my video, but we'll address that later. Anyway, happy Joybox. Happy Joy. Happy. We are in Joybox again, and I am so excited to be back crafting with you guys. I've missed it, but I did need a break. We just had some big family stuff happen, and I was going 100 miles an hour, and it just kind of all came to a screeching halt. So I had to take a little break. I was hoping to only take a couple months break. What it turned into like 8 months. But regardless, here we are, and I'm excited. Thank you for everyone who is back with us from the beginning. We have a couple people who have been with us from the beginning. I'm so excited that you guys are excited as I am, so that makes me very happy. September's Joybox is a fall themed pumpkin and sunflowers, my ultimate favorite, and I really loved seeing just some different people post the barn quilt or geometric design or Aztec design with the pumpkins. I think it's really cool. And so you have a lot of different ways that you can do this project this month in terms of how to paint it, what parts to use, what parts not to use. So kind of keep that in mind. Remember, you are put your own style into it. Don't feel like you have to do exactly what I do. And most likely, you'll notice for those that are new, I do it one way. Let me grab my original. And then when I do it again, I kind of switch it up. And I do that so you guys can see how changing colors or using different parts, different ways, can really change the style of your project. So here's the original. I absolutely love this teal color. It's really hard to take on camera, but I did add some really nice distressing to my pieces. I sanded all my edges. These sunflowers are so fun. I love the huge centers, and then I added that fun cross hatching with the colorful leaves. And then a lot of pictures didn't show this, but I needed to add a bow to the top, and so I added that into the box as well. So you'll notice that those that are new, I kind of get into it and then I kind of revise it as I go because I love adding things to it. I love adding embellishments and all sorts of things to projects. And so you'll typically find little goodies like that in the project. So this is this month's project. The first thing you're going to see when you open your box is your insert. And this is going to have all the links and lists and QR codes that you're going to need to get started. So one, you are important, your time is important, and your creativity is important. So make sure to write yourself on the calendar and let people know that you're busy and that this time is valuable to you. So I always preach that, and that got away from me this last year. So I'm really back into just making sure that we find the time we need to de-stress. So write yourself on the calendar. Open your box and inspect all the items right away or as soon as you can. Let us know right away if anything is missing or damaged, and we will ship out a replacement to you at no cost. So even if you don't open your box until a couple months from now, if something's off, please let us know. Obviously, if it's a year from now, I'm probably will figure something else out, but we really want you to inspect all those items right away. And that way, when you're ready to sit down and craft, you know you have all the items. Nothing's missing or damaged, because that's such a bummer to sit down and get ready to craft. You've carved out that time for yourself and then find out that maybe, you know, a piece got broke in shipping, or we are human. I hand package all the boxes, and sometimes I do make mistakes. I don't tell my husband that. I do make mistakes, and I could accidentally forget something, so please let me know if that's the case. And then you'll have the video that you can watch that's going to be linked in our Facebook group. It will also be linked on the website, and you can also go to our YouTube channel because that's where we host all of our videos, is on the YouTube channel. And then post a picture in the group and share it, or post it on your page and tag it. Let's inspire others to be creative. You don't know who's watching, who's looking, and they might see you as a busy mom and you have found time to be creative, and that might inspire somebody else to dive into that and feel like they can be creative as well. So there's a lot of inspiration we can do for others just by sharing our own stories. So I encourage that. Also, something new this time around. This won't be new for people who are new, but for those that have been with me, we are creating a reward system. So I'm really trying to see you guys create your projects. Like I said, I want you to carve that time out for yourself. And in doing so, I want to reward you for being creative. So we're going to have a little system there, which I'll get to in just a moment. So this section talks about what is in your box. This section talks about what you're going to need. This section is links to the tutorials, your member login, and my email. If anything is amiss, please email me. I really encourage you guys to email me because Facebook doesn't always show me messages that way. Not to say you can't, but I might not respond as fast as with an email. And I am not working on weekends, so if you do email me on the weekend or message me on the weekend, I won't answer it until Monday morning. So I'm really trying to protect my weekends and my space. That was one thing that I didn't do last year, and that I think was one of the causes of overload. So not that I don't love you and want to make sure that you get what you need in a timely fashion, and I want to be there for you guys, but I will be making sure that my weekends are off. And then I'm turned off from that. So this little QR code is great if you just hover your camera over it. Let me just show you in case for those who don't know. So if you pull up your phone's camera and you hover over it, it's going to take you to the Facebook group of Joybox, and that way you get right to the point, right? You don't have to scroll through all of your Facebook to try and find the group. Maybe you're part of a number of groups and yada yada. This takes you right to it, and then you scroll down and here's our live, and then you'll also see videos and other information there too. So that's what the QR code takes you to. All right, so let's talk about what you're gonna get. So we have a bag of raffia, ribbon, and jute. Again, I just love embellishing things with lots of texture and different colors. So I loved that. Feel free to add in any ribbon that you have, obviously, or not even use that. Save it for a different project. And we'll get to this fun little bit here in just a moment. But here is the main project. It all comes shrink wrapped in an effort to help protect all pieces in shipping. But we've had a couple pieces and a couple instances in the past where that wasn't the case. So again, please just let us know if something isn't right. Okay, so I'm going to just take this apart. So I want to show you the pumpkin piece. So this is the main base for the sunflower, okay? And then it layers. So we're creating a chunky self-sitting piece here. Let me just get this on there just right. There we go. And then this piece sits here. We'll line up all the petals here. There we go. Then this will sit here, this there, this kind of sits back in here. There we go. And then we have a little leaf that sits here. And so this is the sunflower bit here. And then the pumpkin piece. So initially when I created this, and you can see, I didn't put any of the pumpkin pieces back in. I wanted to create a dimensional piece. So I've got some pieces that are left out. This is the base pumpkin. And then some of the Aztec pieces are put back in and some are left out. You can kind of see that there, okay? But I wanted to include all the pieces for you. So you could go through and paint all the pieces and put them all back in like a puzzle, or you could leave out some pieces. That's completely up to you. But you have your frame piece and then all of these. Now another idea would be to leave the frame piece out. Okay, so now you're just got this, and maybe you paint the base and you have all the pieces there, and you can do something else with this. Okay, so lots of options. You can play around with that. If you're going to do it this way, use this as your gluing template. So put this down, and you can even maybe put a little piece of tape on there to hold it in place. Then you'd glue your pieces and drop them in. One thing to note though, if you do it that way, make sure that you don't get any glue like on these edges, because it will stick to the frame. But I thought that was cool too, to just kind of display it this way. Or use the frame and not use these, and use only a portion of these, use all of them, however you want to do it, okay? Also, I glued my sunflower onto my pumpkin. So it sits all by itself. It's a shelf sitter because of the thickness here. If you don't want to glue these together, you don't have to. You could have a separate sunflower piece and a separate pumpkin piece, and you can display them separately on a shelf. You could add a hanger to the back of this piece and hang it. Or wrap around, you know, and hang it with the ribbon here, however you want to do that. So lots of options, guys, with our projects and however you want to display those. Play around, have fun. When you get into that groove of creating, I always find that's when the what if questions come. What if I distress this piece? What if I left this piece off? What if? And you start to think about different things and how they might look. And I encourage you to dive into those questions and see what happens. You know, color all the pieces, put them together and go, eh. I mean, that's what I did. I honestly had all of my pieces inside colored. I had some red, I had some orange, and then I was like, you know, I really just love the one color here. So I left those pieces out. I decided I didn't need those, but I did color them in the idea that I was going to use them. And eventually I didn't. So I encourage you to play and ask those what if questions and then do that and have fun with that. Okay, so that's what is in the box. I guess let's talk about what you're going to need. Some makeup wedges, chip brush for distressing if you want to distress. I always find the crustier ones the better for me. A large flat brush for painting those bigger surfaces. And then a detail brush, something small for painting highlights and detail lines and just playing around with those leaves a little bit too. I added some detail to that. Masking tape is helpful for holding all the small pieces down. Baby wipes, 1 for cleanup, and 2, I love using these to create a stained look on my pieces. So you can stain something with any color using the baby wipe. It's the faux stain method. It works really well. I did use some sanding paper or sanding block you can use, or a nail file or a nail file block for distressing. You're going to want a rinse cup for water, a plate for your paint, and some rags and some paper towels for cleanup. Oh, and glue. Let me just show you what I use. It's my favorite. I use this Stick Fast Instant CA adhesive. I got it on Amazon, and I'm going to tell you it's not cheap. I think it was $14 a bottle, which is a lot in my opinion. But 1 bottle lasts me almost 6 months, and I do a lot of projects. One thing I do recommend if you're going to use this is to wipe this tip down after every use, because eventually I still had half a bottle, but my tip got so corroded that I kept cutting it to the point where it was like down to here, and now I'm just putting big globs out. But this stuff is so super fast drying and strong that it's the smallest amount works great. Okay, so that's the glue I use. You can use a wood glue. Just be mindful, wood glues sometimes dry yellow, so that can be an issue. If you're going to use a wood glue, find something that says dries clear. And then the Aleene's Tacky Glue is always a favorite of mine. It dries so fast, and it seems to just have this instant sticking power. So sometimes with glue, if you put too much on it, it kind of hovers and it moves, and then all of a sudden you didn't realize it moved, and it kind of shifted a little bit your piece because there was so much glue. Aleene's Tacky Glue doesn't do that. It like sticks right where you put it. So I mean, you still have flexibility to move it, but anyways, that's one of my other favorites. I wish I had a bottle here to show you what it looks like, but I don't. I'll have to bring it out. Okay. Paint. So I have been slowly transitioning into house paint. Because I live in a rural area, getting acrylic craft paint is a hassle. And it shouldn't be, it's not that big of a hassle, but if I want a certain color right away, I have to wait till I go out of town. Ordering acrylic paint online is kind of expensive. Some of the colors aren't available, that type of thing. And so I've been transitioning to acrylic paint, but I will post the colors that match up to Apple Barrels, and Apple Barrels is always and was always my favorite paint. I did have a couple Deco Art Americana colors that I loved, things like that. So if I have a color I'm using that is a house paint color, I'm using Sherwin-Williams right now. Wait, no. Benjamin Moore colors. I'm using Benjamin Moore colors right now. I will find the Apple Barrels equivalent to it and list those there. If you guys want the Benjamin Moore colors instead, let me know, and I'll try and do both, or we'll kind of see where the group is at. Right now, I've listed the Apple Barrel colors, but what I get is these little color samples, and they're I think they're like $6, which is a little more expensive than like buying a big bottle of paint similar to this at a craft store, Hobby Lobby, or whatnot. But I can get pretty much any color I want with these, right? I mean, have you been to a paint store and the paint chips? I mean, you literally have all the options. So that was the other thing, is I can walk into my local hardware store and find a color I want right away. So that's what I've been using, and I really like these. And then I bought these bottles for my paint parties that I put them in, and then I label them. So anyways, long story short, I will list the Apple Barrels, but I am transitioning into those Benjamin Moores. Let me know if you want those colors, if you're interested. I know a lot of crafty people online are using more of those paint colors. There's a lot of people who, you know, who have a Home Depot or whatever, and when they go on sale, they just go in and buy like 10 bottles and they're set for a while, you know. And that's if you're crafting a lot, you know. If this is just the monthly thing that you're doing, the little 2-ounce bottles from Walmart or Home Depot are fine. Don't feel like you need to go out and get all new paints from Benjamin Moore or Sherwin-Williams or whatever. But I did want to just preface that. Okay. All right. That's what you're going to need. And use the colors that you love. I am going to just preach that and preach that. Use the colors you love, in a combination you love, all that. Okay. So here is the new thing. This is new. And this is my reward system. So what we've got here is this cute little frame on a candlestick, or, you know, a little vase, and it's going to sit in the stand nice and tight. We want it to be tight so it stays up, right? So it's going to look like this. Oops, sorry. And the bird in the back is so we can pop out the art and change it up. So my idea is this is going to be, we'll probably run with this for a year. And then we might do something a little different for a reward system. But every month you'll get a new little round that will fit in yours. So when you first start, anybody who's new and coming back will get the frame. This is just a one-time deal. You'll get this your first box, okay? Then anytime you finish a project and post it in the group and share your finished creation, let me get this set up, you will get a little reward in the mail with your next box, a little piece of art, circle art, that will fit in your frame, and it will coordinate with the project that we are doing. So this is September's little piece, and it has that same style there. So we will paint this together later this month. I can't remember the date I have set. Let me just double check that here. Let me bring up my calendar. The 20th at 7 p.m. I will go live and I'll paint the base and I'll paint this. So the idea is you'll get a new one of these every month if you finish your project and post a picture and let me know you finished it. Okay? And they will coordinate with the project. It has to be posted before I start cutting. So just before the end of the month. And we'll just see how it goes. This is something new. Maybe that's an unrealistic thing. Maybe we need more time for completing the projects, whatever that might be. I encourage your feedback on this new system, where I'm just going to be super flexible at the beginning as we iron out the details. One thing I do want to see, though, is you guys finishing your projects. I want to encourage that, and mostly just to make sure that you guys are getting your creative time in. So let me know what you think about that. If by the time you get your box to the time I need to cut them, so I need some time to know who's done it so that I can cut them and get them in the boxes before the following month. We want to play with that time frame and see what that looks like. So we'll be flexible with that, and just let me know, throw some comments in there. Geez, I just can't get to it in the time frame that you're giving us, or whatever that might be. So I just really would love for you guys to schedule yourself time. And I'm just trying to think in my brain, calendar wise, how many weeks that is, days, whatever. We might have to dive into that a little bit more, but I think it's a super cute, small little project. I love the idea of us crafting together one night for a quick little project, where we're just crafting for maybe a half an hour. I can't imagine this taking us any longer than that, less than a half an hour, because I know we're all super busy. So that was the idea there too, is to give you just a little bonus and give us time to meet a second time in the month. So let's see, let me go back to my page here and see if we have any comments. There's no comments yet. So no questions, no comments. I think that is everything. If I forgot anything, or if you have any questions, please message me. The other thing I want to note, no, that's it. I think that's it. Okay, so there is our September Joy Box. I'm super excited to get crafting with you ladies again. Let me know in the comments, drop in the comments of the group when you guys get your box. And the video tutorial for this will be available on the 10th. So we will have that ready for you to watch. The other thing, that's what I was going to say. So the video tutorial for all of the newcomers is pre-recorded. It has chapters or sections in the video, so you can skip ahead if you want, or you can watch a section, or if you know how to do a section, you can move ahead, blah that, fast forward, rewind, whatever, and gives you more flexibility to watch the video as you need it per your skill set, per skill level. And so that will be available on the 10th. So yeah, there we are. Thanks, guys, and I will message the group, or I'll post in the group when the video is ready. But have fun with this month's Joy Box. Bye.